Hey guys, Nolo Sports Fan, 1984 here. Hadn't made a video in a while, so I'm just gonna do a quick picks video of this week 5 of the NFL. I'm trying to get back and start doing some more videos, but my computer crashed. I want another computer. That's why I am on the webcam here. So let's get started with the week 5. Um, this week on the bye week, I'm reading it right here. Cleveland, Dallas, St. Louis, Miami, Washington, and Baltimore all on bye weeks. So those of you who, like me, have Baltimore in fantasy football, you have to find a way to replace an average of about 20 points a week, which that's a big jump. Baltimore's been giving about an average about 20 points per week. They're playing some hella defense this year, and but they'll be back next week with Houston. So anyways, this week, um, Tennessee at Pittsburgh. Um, Pittsburgh's going to come out on this one. They're going to come back. They've lost. They lost last week to Houston. Um, really good game between them two, but Tennessee is not ready yet. They have won 3 games, but they've only beat Cleveland, and they had the one loss to Jacksonville. They beat Denver, and they beat Baltimore was the biggest win they've had so far this year, but they're not beating Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wins. Seattle at the Giants. The Giants have not really done anything to impress me this year. They beat the Rams. They have beaten the Arizona Cardinals, which are really not the Arizona Cardinals of a couple years ago. And then they beat the Dream Team, but the Dream Team has really self-destructed so far this year. Um, Seattle came very close to beating Atlanta last week. Missed a field goal at the end of the game. But I'm going to go with the Giants in this one. Even though Giants next week, they've got Buffalo. So next week they can maybe show me something. But Seattle, they haven't played anybody yet. When they lost to Washington. So the Giants haven't done anything to show me so far this year. Cincinnati at Jacksonville. My God, this is going to be one of the most garbage games of the week. Either it's going to be high scoring because defenses won't stop one another, or it's just going to be one of the sloppiest football games you've ever seen. Either way, I don't expect much of it. Oh, excuse me. Either way, I don't expect much of it, and I'm going to pick Cincinnati to win this one. New Orleans at Carolina. I got to go with the Saints. Obviously, I'm a Saints fan, but still got to go with the Saints. They just have an all-around better team, and it's Cam Newton. He may torch his defense for some yards, but at the end of the day, Drew Brees will put him away. Oakland and Houston. Houston is in the lead of the AFC South right now, and I think they will run away with the division this year. But with Andre Johnson out, and Oakland likes to run the ball. If they can run the ball on this defense, Oakland can pull an upset. But it's that Houston defense is tough with Mario Williams. It's going to be Houston. Take the Texans. We got the Dream Team, the Eagles at the Bills. If the Eagles do not win this game, they are looking at possibly not making the playoffs. If they lose this game to the Bills, I will say they have to run the table the rest of the season in order to get into the playoffs because the NFC is going to be such a tight conference this year that I honestly believe even the wild card teams will probably have no more than four or five losses. That's how tough the NFC is looking this year. When you think about it, the teams on top of the 3 teams on the 4 teams, actually the 4 teams on top of the NFC so far right now are no shock the Packers and the Saints, but then the Lions and the 49ers are a combined 7-1. That is amazing. So I'm gonna pick Philadelphia to win this game because they need this one. Buffalo, they can show me something. I am rooting for Buffalo, but I got to go with the Eagles. Michael Vick and Frank Gore challenged them on called them out on national TV. So let's hope Philadelphia can step up this week. Then the Battle of the Blunders, as I'm going to call this one. The Kansas City Chiefs at the Indianapolis Colts. Last year, Kansas City went into Indianapolis as the last remaining undefeated team in the league at 3-0, and Indianapolis beat them. Will not happen this year. Indianapolis has just proved how garbage a team can be without one player. Peyton Manning made that team what it was, and it's not going to happen. Kansas City is going to win. I'm not really a big fan of Matt Castle, but I think Kansas City will pull the win. Then we got our last 12 o'clock game, which is the Cardinals at the Vikings. And 2 years ago, this game was a game for high stakes in the NFC. This year, it's just who can win. Donovan McNabb and the Minnesota Vikings just look like garbage this year. I'm going to pick the Cardinals to win this game. Kevin Cobb has showed me some stuff, and Beanie Wells has put up some impressive numbers in fantasy football. So I'm going to say go with the Arizona Cardinals. Then we start our 4 o'clock games, 3 o'clock here, local time. Tampa Bay at San Francisco. This is going to be a really interesting game to watch. Tampa Bay's one of the better teams in the NFC. I honestly think they will possibly take one of the wild card spots, if not win the NFC South this year. And San Francisco, if they can pull off a win here, can run away with the NFC West. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that I see the 49ers pulling out a win at home. Then we have the Jets and the Patriots, in which will probably be the game of the week because it's going to be defense in this game. If the Jets defense plays like they play in the playoffs, like they did against Tom Brady in the playoffs, even a pedestrian offensive output from Mark Sanchez will help the Jets win. So, but Tom Terrific, as much as I hate to call him Tom Terrific, because I think he's overrated. I think he's a product of the system. I think Tom Terrific and the New England Patriots will pull out the win. San Diego at Denver. No Tebow, no win. Chargers. Then our Sunday night game is Green Bay at Atlanta. It's going to be Packers all day, 5-0 over those Dirty Birds who will lose for the third time this year. Atlanta hasn't showed me anything. They got dominated by the Bears in week 1. They had to come back to beat the Eagles in week 2. Lost to the Buccaneers in week 3, and then almost lost to the Seahawks. Pete Carroll's bunch almost pulled off a miraculous upset, but not going to happen. In Atlanta, we're going to have a repeat of January. Aaron Rodgers is going to go in there, and he's going to be doing this all night long. So, Packers to win. And then the Monday night game, Chicago at Detroit. Detroit riding the win streak, 4-0. Jay Cutler going to go in there. Ndamukong Suh and Nick Fairley and that Detroit defensive line will eat Jay Cutler for dinner like a T-bone steak. Like a T-bone steak, they will eat him for dinner. Lions. So, recap, I picked Steelers, Giants, Bengals, Saints, Texans, Eagles, Chiefs, Cardinals, 49ers, Patriots, Chargers, Packers, and the Detroit Lions to win on their first Monday Night Football game in 10 years. So, with that said, I'm out. See you guys later.